All right, guys, Tom Kubinick here with SecureIt Tactical. Today, we're comparing a 20-gun Winchester safe to an Agile Model 52. Now, to better show you how the Agile works, what I've done, I've taped off what represents the interior of an Agile Model 52. That way, from the camera angle, I can better show you how the system goes in. When we're working in the cabinet, it's hard to get a camera to show it while your hands are in there. Now, this is a Winchester 20-gun safe. I want to point out a couple of things. We've got 6 rifles in here. I cannot close the door. We spent about 15 minutes trying to figure out how to fit these guns in. These are 6 modern AR platform rifles. All of them have optics. They're not unusually large, but they are modern rifles with optics. A 20-gun safe, these 6 guns do not fit. The industry's gone nuts with capacity. It's just so ridiculously overstated. I've got a bunch of gear in here. There's really no provisions for the gear. We've got it on the shelf. Now I'm going to show you how we take this amount of gear and guns, organize it, store it properly in an Agile Model 52 gun safe. One of the things I want to point out, they've got handgun storage on the doors. Now this is a SIG 320. You can't put anything near a full-size gun in this top bin because it sticks out too far. You can't close the door. Gun safe manufacturers just aren't paying attention to the details. They're just whipping off these cheap safes, just trying to, fill a market, I guess. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the guns from the safe and all the gear and properly store it in an Agile system. All right, so first off, I've got some bins here. I'm just going to place these in the Agile safe. I'll adjust them as I add the firearms. This is a Stag Arm 6.5 Creedmoor. This is one of my hunting rifles. Shout out to Stag Arms. We built all their armories, and they built this rifle for me as kind of a thank you. It was a really good project. They're a great company. This is an AR-15. This is my 308 hunting rifle. Axe Tactical built this for me. We built all their armories. They're a New York-based company. They provide all of the custom rifles and rifle work for the SWAT teams throughout the state. And this is hard to get out. I'm trying to get this gun out. It's so hard to get guns out of these safes. Now this is a Falcor Defense Petra 300 Win Mag AR. We built all their armories. They built me this rifle as a thank you. This is a really nice shooting rifle. Also, shout out to Vortex Optics. We built all the tech rooms, storage areas for Vortex. Very good customer of ours. They make some of the best optics. And this is a Marine Corps AR-10 Super SAS. So now I've got the 6 rifles properly stored. Everything's free and clear. You've got easy straight line access to everything. Let's add the gear. So I'm going to use our modular mag holders. Now to get a little more space, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop these saddles down a little bit. Gives me a little more room. A couple other things I want to point out. So the 308 rifle does come with a suppressor. I'm going to pull this shelf out. But we've got our new suppressor bracket. So what I'm doing is I'm going to drop the suppressor bracket right in behind the rifle so the suppressor gets stored right with the rifle. Grabbing a couple other components. Additionally, I've got a muzzle brake for this gun, and what I like to do is store all the gun parts with the gun. I'm simply going to use one of our pegs. I'm going to drop this in behind the rifle. So I've got this set up so I can remove the rifle. I've got a suppressor, or I can grab the muzzle brake, but I index all the parts for the gun with the gun. One of the challenges with these safes, they always cut a hole in the shelf for longer rifles because they have a hard time dealing with them. But when you're storing gear, as you can just see, stuff falls through these holes all the time, and it makes for just kind of a mess in your safe. So now what I want to do, I'm going to do a little configuration here, changes, because I'm going to drop the magazines down at the lower level. I'm going to drop these bins down. I'm going to add a bin. Now all of my cleaning products, I keep them in my safe, and I put them in a plastic bin. That way if something should ever leak, and you know when you're around guns long enough, invariably, one of your cleaning products, your oils, they can leak, but it keeps the mess contained within the bin. You don't make a mess of your safe. Quick shout out to Gunfighter Oil. It's a synthetic gun oil by Mickey Shook. He's a great guy. It's a great product. Look it up. I've got one additional handgun. Now the Agile safe does come with door organizer for storing handguns. I'm just going to add them into the safe here because we can. And this is a Bond Arms, little snake charmer. Gordon Bond, he's a friend, he's a good guy, he makes great guns. Everybody should have at least one Bond Arms. I'm not going to be using these components, we'll set them aside. I've got my K-bar as my last piece. Let me think about where I'm going to put this. I'm going to throw this on a peg. Actually, I'll throw it on a holder. All right, guys, so to wrap this up, I took 6 guns that would not fit into a 20-gun Winchester safe. And the capacity on this is so ridiculously overstated. The gear was a mess, just kind of piled on the shelves and behind the guns. And now in an Agile Model 52, this is a 6-gun safe. Yes, I did pick 6 fairly large format rifles with large optics, but you know what? These are the guns a lot of us own. And the SecureIt system properly stores all your firearms, regardless of the optics or the size of the firearm. And I've got a lot of flexibility in how I store the gear. Now I set this up very quickly. I didn't want to take up too much time in the video, but all the gear is stored and organized in a visual manner where you've got quick access to everything. Guys, this is the SecureIt Agile Model 52 gun safe, represented on our gun wall system, but it provides proper and secure storage for 6 rifles and a lot of gear.